Hello everybody, welcome to the live stream. Bitcoin's down. What's happening? Emergency. If you're watching the arena, I hope you enjoy. Find something you like. Let's see, let's wait a little bit until people drop in. Not this one. Checking in, Shamali. Trubay, this live. Hello mate, what's up? December, how's happening? What's happening? There we go. No, not now, emergency. No time. No time. No time for emergency. Muhammad, Kishan, Farid, Hafi, we already are pumping it. Already pumping it. I don't know, man. I don't know. This doesn't look like the, pump of the century. I mean, it does look bad. I was actually thinking about mentioning this dump on the downside. It looks like really somebody is just selling. The price wants to go up over here, but somebody is just selling down. I was going to pump in the gym. Seems I'm going to dump instead. Most entertaining analysis. PTS doesn't know what he wants. Only small emergency. It's not 37.7 yet. Yeah, how we are doing on the 37.7? Well, we broke 39.5 right down here. We came up back. This is the daily candle, guys. This can just pick up, during the day. You can see yesterday's week on the downside. Big week on the downside. This can happen again. So never say never, guys. Never say never. This can definitely happen again. On the weekly time frame down here, important levels at 37.7, not yet all the way down there, but we are going into that direction, unfortunately. 5% down today. Dow Jones is also continuing on the downside down here. S&P 500 also continuing on the downside, so everything is dumping right now. See here, right now, only Moscow is up 6%. How is Moscow pumping, guys? Everything is dropping down and Moscow is pumping. Norway is up a little bit, and Japan and Shanghai, Hang Seng, Hong Kong is up a little bit, but Moscow is up 6%. What did they do, man? What did they do? Bad news, emergency, unsuspended. Less parabolic leg of the cursed DXY run. I don't know if it's less parabolic leg, but it is going pumping like crazy towards the upside. Right now, 0.40%. Every day it's going a little bit higher, every single day. You can see up here, like it is going, it is increasing, going parabolically towards the upside up here. It doesn't look like, it's gonna, have the pop-up just yet, but it is, going pretty steeply towards the upside right now. So we are definitely looking for that, pop when the song goes pop or whatever you call that, right? You are looking for the trend to break. Right now, looks like it's extending from the 10 moving average over here. Yeah, it's just increasing the speed towards the upside as well up here. You can see here it went up in some kind of way up here. Right now it is increasing speed up here as well over here. So maybe we are going into this last moves towards the upside. Now you know what's happening on the 14th of July, guys. You know what's going to happen on 4th of July. So this move up here, it's right now going towards the upside up here. Got something until July to happen on the supermoon, guys. You know what's gonna be. By the way, is the music too loud? Alex Soul beat it's in the by Twitter. The bulls are in disbelief, man. This price standard will come down. Give it some time. Yeah, we are gonna give it some. We know when it's gonna come down, man. We know when it's gonna come down. We know exactly when it's gonna come down. Now, Bitcoin, although it does look bad on the 4-hourly time frame, I'm gonna show you a 4-hourly time frame here. Is the music too loud, guys? Is the music too loud? Okay, let's chill the music down. Let's chill the music down just because, reasons. There we go. We chill the music down so, we can chat. So down here, as you can see on the 4-hourly time frame, we came, barted right back down again on the 1-hourly. You can see here. We went straight back up here we went straight back up here, right up here, then tried to get up and then right back down again, which is not a good sign, guys. I gotta tell you, it's not a good sign right now. Can you check here and see? Yeah, Kyber network is, you know, doesn't give a f. You know, Kyber network is just pumping towards the upside. We can see that we've been following Kyber network. But right now, Bitcoin, guys, Bitcoin is up down 3.85% as well on the downside. And the thing that we don't want to do today, you know, there's a lot of things we don't want to do today, but you know, the way I see it, you know, some kind of hope you might happen if we can keep above the support up here, right? If you can keep above the support up here, above 39,440, if you can do that, if you can just keep above the support, I think we're gonna be fine. I don't think we're gonna be fine, guys. I don't think we're gonna be fine just yet. But at least we are not getting bearish engulfing candle on this daily close, right? So, you know, above up here, that's gonna be, you know, some kind of hopium, but overall it does look a little bit, you know, scary right now. This over here might be some kind of a head and shoulders pattern that's playing out. Let's go to 4-hourly time frame. I mean, it is really weird head and shoulders pattern. You know, it is ugly head and shoulders pattern. I gotta admit, you know, it is ugly head and shoulders pattern, but you know, we take what we get, right? Maybe something like this up here. You can see here, we are creating this, you know, very ugly head and shoulders pattern. It's the ugliest head and shoulders pattern ever recorded in the history of mankind. But if this drop on the downside, you know, we are seeing some kind of what are we seeing then? We are seeing some kind of, you know, 35,000 over here. At least if this is some kind of head and shoulders pattern, that's right. If it is some kind of head and shoulders pattern, you can see we came down to the bottom down here. There is no divergence on the chart just yet up here on the 4-hourly time frame. So everything still looks, you know, normal on the dump side, right? The daily time frame, unfortunately, we are hoping that we are gonna get bullish cross up here tomorrow. There was no bullish cross up here on the charts right now. This looks like it's gonna extend towards the downside, and momentum might just switch towards the downside as well. So, you know, indicators right now not that optimistic, give and take. Also, the big no-no on the daily candle up here, and this comes whether, you know, we close this red candle or not, is rejection of the 20 moving average, guys. Rejection of the 20 moving average. You can see here big rejection on 20 moving average, and this is the secondary. So 2 rejection in a row. This one coming on the support down here as well. It is quite bad, a rejection over here. So if we do get here, we gotta, you know, take some kind of bearish stance at least for a little while more. Will we get to 23, 24, 25k like we predicted not so long ago? That depends, but this still is tumbling towards the downside. Unfortunately, when this is gonna end, that depends. There are, of course, several ways to draw the line. One of the most bullish lines that we could draw is down here. That means that the dump that we are, you know, that might happen is gonna happen once we close below 38,002, give or take, right? Down here, give or take, once we cross below, because after this line it's really hard to draw any kind of line that's going you know, further towards the downside. It's really hard, you know. This line up here, this is the last line. The way I see this is the last line, and after this, like maybe a little bit down here, 38 one, like that's the lowest you can push this line to. Let's try to do this on the 3-day time frame, because you can see everybody has been talking about this support on the 3-day time frame, this 200 moving average holding nicely. Right now, that, you know, that's being broken on the downside. That actually already broken on downside. Right now we're continuing towards downside. So this 200 moving average is goner. The way we see it, like this trend up here already, you know, we came down there, we tried to get up, and we already broke this on the downside. But there are some kind of hopium, maybe some kind of hopium. Where is the line? Something like this up here. There is it, give or take. You know, that's around 38.2, 38.1,000. That's what we are looking for right now. All right, that bottom down, that bottom wick on the downside. So you can see here, this bottom we came to 38.2. If you start closing below 38.2, that's you know, technically there is no more lines that you can draw on the downside. Trend lines, very important distinction. Trend lines you cannot draw. You can draw support lines. We got a support lines right below us up here at 37.7, and we got another one down here right below us at 36.2. So you know there are still levels of support. Also we got a 100 moving average on the weekly time frame up here. What more do we have? We got a whole bunch of support lines on the downside over here that might give us some kind of oh, okay, this is actually a 38 too. Maybe that's we are holding that. So you can see here there's a whole bunch of support lines right now that can indeed help us a little bit on the move towards downside, and any and all of these support lines can bounce us towards the upside. So we do not actually know which kind of support line is going to bounce us towards the upside, but what we are looking for is any kind of bounce. What we are looking for is any kind of indication of bullishness, right? Anything that can actually help us regain the momentum and pump towards the upside. The rejections are quite bad. Everything looks terrible right now, yada yada yada. Maybe that's why we're gonna bounce off here. But this is this candle up here, we are still above the support. That's a very important thing to understand, guys. We are still above the support. Everything still looks normal. It looks bearish, but it looks normal at the top of the support. And as long as we haven't broken down here, I mean, we need to keep some kind of optimism in the room, right? But still, it's an emergency. We need to also know that if it for whatever reason starts breaking on the downside, technically the trend line is broken, certain very short-term support levels are broken, and so forth, so it can turn ugly pretty fast. But again, we are above the support, and should not panic above the support. It's only below the support that we start panicking. So we are a lot of worry up here. We are a lot of anxiety, but we are not panicking yet. We are not panicking. Maybe a little bit of fear, but not panic. Fear comes once you break up here. There's anxiety, worriness and stuff like that. Down here is fear, and then when you start going even down, there is almost panic, and then you start panicking on the downside, right? So we are way below the way above the panic up here, so there is no need to panic. Maybe a little bit being anxious and worrisome that it's gonna break the level. That's normal. If it breaks the level, some fear will kick in, start fear. If it goes down, you will come at this start of the panic motion, and once we break the last levels below 32, whatever that is, if that happens, that's panic area. So we are not panicking just yet. We're just having a little bit anxiety about the move towards the downside. Yesterday we had a nice move towards the upside up here, and it did give us a little bit hope that this might actually continue towards the upside. So you can see this rocket green candle towards the upside above the 10 moving average. We said also it does look good, but unfortunately did not break the resistance up here at 40,500. It came to the resistance, also came to the resistance at 20 moving average. It did get above the 10, but it did not get above the 20 or break any kind of horizontal supports up here. And we are getting big time rejection up here right now off of that level. That's sad. That means we are technically in some kind of bearish modus right now. Also the weekly time frame right now, we are 2 days in on the weekly candle up here. We have been talking that this might be some kind of morning doji star pattern up here that's going to propel towards the upside. It did look nice a little while. We came to this 10 moving average and got rejected by that as well. So right now everything points into the downward direction. How long that's gonna be, do not know. The problem with closing this candle up here below the 37.7 is that we are creating lower load on the downside. That's also increasing the bearishness, right? Right now we got a low, higher low, so everything looks fine still, right? Everything looks fine. We are we are on the support and everything, right? And there are of course very nice trend lines that we can draw on the chart that are telling us that we are indeed a little bit still bullish up here. This one actually broke on the downside back inside the triangle, but there is another one up here. Where it goes, it goes something, I think it goes something like this up here, down there, where it goes, give or take, something like this, right? Something like this, right? There are several trend lines on the chart, but this is one of these trend lines that are giving us some kind of hope on the support, right? This also shows that we are hitting the support very nicely. Of course, the bottom support as well, right? Why can I draw trend lines up here? You can see here, so either this is the last dump before everybody gets really scared, or we're gonna break down to, so even this bottom line and this line over here right now sitting on support. Support is support, guys. That's what supports do. Price often goes down to the support, then scares the you know, S out of everybody, and suddenly reverses and goes towards the upside. But right now we are not seeing you know, anything bullish about this move towards downside, right? Towards downside. Even this bullish move towards the upside wasn't that bullish. I mean, it did go a little bit up, you know, it broke something, but you know, right back down again, which is quite bad. So right now what I'm thinking over here, it might consolidate a little bit here, yeah, and then you know, we might see break. There is big probability that this week is gonna be the day. If we break this on the downside, I think this is gonna be this week, because I don't see this, you know, going for another week and then breaking on the downside. It can happen, but I don't see that right now. Right now I see, you know, during this week, I don't know when, you know, tomorrow, tonight, tomorrow, in a couple of days, big moves will happen on the chart, either towards the upside or the downside. Now if you want to go towards the upside, you know, we need to break the 42 level, very important moving average up here, the 50 moving average, the yellow line that you see on the screen right now. We need to get above that. That's 42 level up here. There is no bullishness until we get back above this level up here. We don't like the, we're gonna pick the yellow line, too yellowish, maybe this one. Yeah, nah. Which one is this? This is what we like to use. So up here, you know, we need to get above this 42 line. It's only above the 42 that we can, you know, assume some kind of bullishness. It's not gonna take much. That's only something like 10% towards the upside from where we are right now. You can see, you know, if you can dump down like 4 or 5%, we can definitely pump 10% in 2 days. So there is nothing, but you know, this engulfing candle that's being created over here, it is a bearish one. Ever since up here we've been, you know, extremely bearish. This was some kind of hopium that's gonna, you know, bounce back up, but it looks like just was, you know, some kind of small, you know, dead cat bounce. It's not even dead cat bounce, I don't know what to call it. It just was such a small bounce. It was nice bounce, and maybe the Twitter news, Elon Musk buying Twitter, had something to do with that. But you know, some kind of bullishness was about to kick in, but we are right back down again. You can see also on Dow Jones down here that Dow Jones as well popped up yesterday up here towards the upside, but today is continuing to on the downside. So stock markets are still bleeding on the downside, and they are bleeding down pretty hard. You know, after the last weekly close down here, it was pretty bad candle. So right now we are coming to this very important support around the 42,000 levels down here. If stock market starts breaking this on the downside, it's gonna start looking ugly as well. On the Dow Jones is around 32.8, give or take. If once it breaks that, it might start looking ugly. So we are watching definitely on Dow Jones this support line down here, when it's gonna break. Once that actually breaks, that might be the thing. Let me just, since this is a pivot point and this is a pivot point, maybe there is some line that goes up here. We're getting very close to that line. Is there the same kind of line on the S&P 500? Let me double check that down here. There is gonna something like this, give or take. Yeah, so it might be on some kind of trend line right now on S&P and the Dow Jones that might break on downside, but doesn't matter. This is still going on downside. The DXY, just like we said in the start of the video, that you know, this is going into some kind of parabolic move toward the upside. This is the second stage of the parabolic. This is the first stage. Technically it's 3 stage, but it can be 4 stage, because you know, if you count, you know, the bottom as 1 stage, first stage, second stage, third stage, and then you have 4th stage of any kind of parabolic move. Oftentimes it's 3 move, because you know, oftentimes you notice it when it starts running up. So this first move, this is second move, and then after that we are looking for some kind of blow off top, some kind of you know, because this parabolic move usually has these, you know, blow off tops, and then they retrace towards downside. This looks already like it's going, you know, very steeply parabolic towards the upsides. You know, we are expecting this to end around, you know, June, 14 June, so around a month and a half more. Why 14 June? Because on 14 June we are getting the full moon and super moon. I know a lot of people do not believe in the moons and so forth, but we do like the moons, especially like these very special moons, you know, apogee and perigee moons, super moons, micro moons, those kind of moons. There are 2 moons that are happening in June, July that are very special moons, and we are thinking that we might bottom out around between 14 June and 13 July. We are thinking we might bottom out in that area here, because these 2 moons up here are very special, you know, very special moons. And once these moons happen, we are thinking that DXY will top out and start going on the downside, while the Bitcoin will actually, you know, start projecting towards the upside. So DXY is still pumping, stock markets are crashing down, Bitcoin is back down to 4.9% on the downside. Let's go check it out here on the 4-hour time frame. It's still crashing towards the downside without no survivor. There we go, 5% right now on the dollar, down from the top. I don't know where the top is, something like this. This is a little bit more, maybe start a little bit down here. Let's see here, the top and here right now it's closing down there, 5% on the downside. So definitely does look ugly, but do not let ugly and the fear scare you guys just yet. This support down here is stellar. Right now we need to break the support to, you know, say anything about anything right now. And this candle over here is the daily candle. We still got something like 7 hours and 20 minutes left of this candle. So you gotta ask yourself, are we gonna, are they, you know, are bears gonna have enough power to, you know, keep this bear, you know, candle this far down for, you know, next 7 hours and close it, you know, below the supports down here? Or are we gonna see some kind of major pump up here, you know, right now and just right back up again? Because, you know, that's also happened. You gotta push it back down, then you got some clarity and a straight up, you know, because this might be acting like some kind of spring effect towards the upside off of the support. So, you know, I'm definitely watching right now the bottom of this chart and trying to figure out how this actually, you know, looks and how this actually gonna play out. You can see here we are already getting some kind of divergences on the chart up here. This is a 5-minute chart, but you know, there are some kind of divergences. Do not trust divergences or the 5-minute chart when this kind of stuff happens, guys. You gotta trust extended levels, you gotta trust trend lines and so forth, so forth. If you go to the 5-minute chart over here, there is a trend up here that's not yet being broken. As long as this trend is not being broken, there is really little we can do about the whole ordeal. I think it goes something like this up here, give or take, maybe down here. I would say this looks most likely up here. This looks most likely up here, and you can see here this 5-minute trend is still not broken, you know. So you know, any kind of movement towards upside needs to break this 5-minute trend first, and then, you know, needs to break hourly trend, 4-hourly trend, so forth, you know, on and on and on. This is still pretty much still developing towards the downside, and you know, hopefully bounce, but right now it does not look good. Now, guys, questions. A little bit. Elon fan following is so big, anything is possible for him. Is there a chance you will stream tonight? There is big chance I will stream tonight. By the way, tonight 9 o'clock 21:00 Central European time. That means in 2 hours and 18 minutes. In 2 hours and 18 minutes. There will be a live stream, and I will have, you know, I will be guest on the Cryptovaluta Norge. So we will be talking about NFTs, about you know, Dogecoin, maybe some TA, the bot he's making, and so forth, so forth. So we're gonna talking about a lot of other things. We're gonna try not to focus on the dumping part. We're gonna try to focus on the optimistic parts of the you know, crypto world. So make sure to set your alarm clock on, you know, in 2 hours and 80 minutes there will be a live stream, definitely. But I felt, you know, I didn't mean to do this live stream, but I felt it was necessary to do, you know, quick live stream to you know, talk about a little bit about what's happening right now, and you know, just explain what's happening down here. What percentage of total crypto market? No clue, man. I don't know. That's relevant right now. I think it's part of corrective way. Good chance for a bounce will be there. Nice. The XY chart has had 5 waves already. Yeah. Well, it said completing the 5th. I mean, yeah, completing the 5th doesn't mean that's finished, you know. The XY chart has had 5 waves already. And by the way, we don't do Elliott waves, but let's do Elliott waves on the XY just because reasons. So maybe on the weekly time frame up here. So I don't know how to do this, you know, I don't do Elliott phase, you know, so whatever reason. So this must be 1st, 2nd, then people will say this is 3rd, 4th, and then this is the 5th wave, right? So, you know, I'm thinking that's something like this, right? I'm thinking that's something like this, but this 5th wave cannot be, you know, it needs to be something like this. Must be 3rd and this must be 4th or something like that, 3rd, 4th or something like that. This 5th, I don't know, man, I don't know. 1, 2, then 3, 4. See, I can do Elliott phase as well, man. I can do Elliott phase as well. Now I have no clue what I'm doing on Elliott phase, so we are not gonna try to do that. No Elliott phase, yeah, no Elliott phase, guys, no Elliott phase. Is QQQ bouncy? Maybe, I don't know, man. Altcoins are always 70-90%. How much will they crash more if BTC goes to 23? They will drop another 30 to 40% on the downside, the way I see it. You better don't look at the 3M time frame on the XY charts. Massive V, 3-month time frame. You mean massive M pattern? Oh, massive E pattern. But I don't know. Yeah, it does look like some kind of double bottom down here on the bottom right now, trying to break this resistance. But you know, you can just hit resistance as well and just get rejected. You know, the resistances are there to be broken. You can see right now that we are hitting that 102 resistance even on this 3-month time frame. Even on this 3-month time frame, right? So this resistance right now on 102 on the dollar is hitting that and trying to break that. So we're gonna see how far it actually gets above that, or how it actually performs. So yeah, we already know it's, you know, DXY is getting extended. We already can see that the DXY is getting into some kind of parabolic move, you know, the way we analyze the chart. We can already see that, you know, it can just stop dropping, going up right now, turn around today and go down. Yes, it can do that, but we also know that it can continue this, because these less parabolic moves are often full of euphoria, often goes very fast towards upside. So, you know, I'm giving it, you know, 1 month's time, you know, and it will correspond nicely with the super moves that we have. I mean, Wally, the XY levels are unstable for much longer and this response this week. I don't know, man. I don't know. It can be that, but we'll see. Yeah, something has to give when it goes parabolic. Yeah, something has to give. So we're gonna see, you know, we can argue, you know, because it is definitely hitting. Maybe this is already parabolic move towards upside. Let's go to the daily time frame and see how this actually looks on the daily time frame up here. And you know, the parabolic moves are actually, you know, generally created by these trend lines, right? So you get this trend line, and as soon as you see this move starting to increase, you know, it stops falling back down to the line. This is already a new trend up here, right? This is already a new trend. You can see right here that we are bouncing on that new trend towards the upside. So if this move goes towards downside down here, it can go towards downside right now, but it can also just continue in this trend towards upside. The thing is that we on this second, this is the first move, this secondary move. On this secondary move, we do not quite know when it's gonna actually pop the cherry down here, or will it, you know, go something like this and then increase, you know, blow off top at one point up here, right? So we're not quite sure. Maybe it's gonna stop going up now, it's just gonna sideways and then, you know, get this blow off top. So how this is gonna, I'll just go sideways up here, break the trend already right now and just continue on downside. That can also happen. So how, when these, you know, blow off tops come, when this ends, we don't know. What we do know is that trend lines needs to be broken. Right now the trend line is not broken. This is still going, you know, very fastly towards upside, even, or you can even say parabolic. Maybe it's already increased the speed up here towards the upside, but you know, it's too fast of a change. It's too fast of a change, but it might already have done that. It might already, because these two moves did not come even, you know, close to this level down here. So we don't have any kind of secondary hit on this line up here. So these are the first two, third up here, might have another one and then go parabolic towards the upside. We'll see how this actually plays out, but you know, it's hard to say when it's over. Parabolic moves are hard to say when it's over, and the way we know it's over is that we go into the smaller time frames and smaller time frames, so 4-hourly, 1-hourly time frames, so forth, and we are measuring these you know, parabolic moves towards the upside. Up here we are measuring these parabolic moves towards the upside and we are waiting for them to break, and as soon as they break, that's how we know that some kind of parabolic move is over. The same thing we did live on live stream when Shiba were, for example, going towards the upside like crazy up here. So Shiba was going up like crazy up here, right? We called this top up here, but it did go and get a secondary top up here. But it was going crazy as well, you know, towards the upside. And you can also see Shiba, for example, having this, you know, trend line starting rising and then increase in this move towards the upside. Now this looks like actually just two moves, but I think the secondary move is something like this up here. Secondary move, and then we have, wait a second. So it might be that, you know, right now that that the DXY is definitely going to parabolic move, because you see here the secondary move up here, you know, from change to this, it was quite fast actually. It was quite fast actually, and when it was doing this move up here, you know, we even zoomed out in here on some kind of 5-minute chart up here, and we're looking at 5-minute and 1-minute chart up here, and call this stop up here at 8 something, right? And it was nice stop. It went down, it tried to go above the top and then crashed on the downside. You can see how he broke the trend line big time on the downside down here. And by that point, it is game over pretty much, right? Pretty much. So, you know, we called that live on the stream over here, you know, and it's the same thing with all kind of parabolic tops. So I'm expecting this parabolic top also to, you know, blow off eventually, right? Let's go to daily time frame up here, over here. So maybe this is already right now, what's happening right now, maybe this is already a third move that's happening right up here towards upside. And technically we got, because you can see here that this trend line up here above the lines, this trend line up here above the lines right over here is exploding. Once these kind of trend lines broke, that means the speed is increasing. So this speed is definitely increasing right now up here. Over here it was a, you know, it was this trend line, so, you know, we came up here, broke that, increased the speed, so we went up there, we broke that, we are increasing the speed right now. But, you know, yeah, we need to see once this last move starts breaking the trend line. So I'm thinking this trend line up here, it's very important for this parabolic move to actually break. It's, you know, it is at resistance, but, you know, we don't know if it's just gonna break on the downside. We can zoom in a little bit up here on maybe 1 hourly time frame up here. See that it doesn't have that, you know, 1 hourly blow off top or anything like that. It just kind of slowly climbing towards upside. So I don't see any kind of blow off top just yet, but, you know, once we get there, we'll see that. Definitely. So 1 hourly down here, still, you know, holding very, very low levels on the downside. 5-minute chart is trying to form some kind of bottom. There is definitely divergence on the bottom side down here after this big impulsive move. It needs to break some kind of trend line up here before we can actually, you know, talk about any kind of recovery up here. Hope is that this support is gonna hold, guys. Hope is the support is gonna hold. Maybe DXY is already at the top and it's gonna drop on the downside. It's overextended and will come down, yeah, eventually. But, you know, the problem with overextension is they can, you know, they can be sustained for a while. People think as soon as you hit some kind of overbought or oversold levels, immediately you gotta make a V-shaped recovery pattern and go, you know, opposite direction. It's not how it works, guys. Not oftentimes, if you hit some kind of overextended levels or overbought, oversold levels, if the price wants to continue in the same direction, it will just consolidate, reset those levels, and continue. Any Hopium TLI or is 20k easy? Now, the Hopium right now, the only Hopium we have right now is for this support down here to hold. That's around 38.2. That's the last bottom. If we break that, there is nothing left. It's really fine to find kind of Hopium, but, you know, even then we can still bounce, find some kind of support in right now, but, you know, it will look ugly below 38.2. Maybe that's the time to buy, man. Maybe that's the time to buy. I don't know, we're gonna see how that actually plays out. Maybe that's the time to buy on the downside. But right now, this bearish engulfing candle down here, it is, you know, breaking certain stuff. But, you know, we got the only thing we gotta. But if we go down here, close down here, we'll see. Maybe tomorrow is gonna be green day, but overall we are still in a downtrend over here. You know, short-term downtrend. Even this short-term downtrend is broken. You know, this is no, this is the short-term downtrend down here. Maybe we got some kind of falling wedge up here, right? Falling wedge. Let's clear up a little bit up here. Maybe there is some kind of falling wedge, guys. Maybe. But if we break the falling wedge on the downside, doesn't matter. You break the 38.2, you're gone. You know, you want to be bullish above 42. So bullishness kicks in around 42. I'm just gonna put down, and bearishness kicks in below 38. Right? That's what it said. 38.2 down here. So these two levels, very important levels. Above here, bullishness, below there, bearishness. Take it however you want. I gotta go do stuff, guys. 9 p.m. Central European time tonight, in 2 hours and 6 minutes, guys, there will be a live stream on this channel and on Cryptovaluta.org. I'm not quite sure about notifications going out or not. Check it out. I'm gonna be talking with the Cryptovaluta.org, that guy, the guy who bought a cup for 1,000 Bitcoin. If you want to hear the story, check it out. He will also talk about NFTs and Dogecoin, and you know what Dogecoin was used back in the day. It actually had a use case. I was surprised to find out that Dogecoin actually had a use case back in the day. So we're gonna talk a little bit about that and other stuff as well. Check it out, it's gonna be interesting. That said, this is still, emergency is still unfolding. Once this, stops, we're gonna talk about that. Most expensive cup. Yeah, it's the most expensive cup. That's it, guys. Thanks for stopping by. We're gonna do the stream again tonight. And that's it. Okay, I'm done talking. Dogecoin. Pulling back. Play Doge Daddy. Grayscale says scheduled basis. Bye guys.